Have you ever been in a room full of people, maybe even people you love, and felt completely, utterly alone? You're speaking the same language, sharing the same space, but it feels like your words are hitting a glass wall, echoing back at you, unheard. It's a strange, isolating paradox. You're physically present, but emotionally, you're a ghost at the table. You try to share a piece of your inner world, a joy, a fear, a simple observation, and the response you get is a polite nod, a quick change of subject, or worse, a well-intentioned but completely off-the-mark piece of advice. They hear the words you're saying, but they don't feel the meaning behind them. The connection you're reaching for just isn't there. This is the core of being misunderstood. It's not a failure of language. It's a failure of resonance, a gap in empathy. This is the quiet pain of not being understood. It's not a loud, dramatic grief that announces itself to the world. It's a dull, persistent ache, a private realization that the bridge between your inner world and someone else's hasn't quite reached the other side. It's the exhaustion that settles in after you've tried to explain yourself one too many times, only to realize you're speaking a dialect of the heart that no one else seems to know. This feeling can be one of the most profound forms of loneliness, making us question our own perceptions and sanity. If this feeling resonates with you, know that you are not broken and you are not alone. This experience is a fundamental part of the human condition. We are all complex universes, and sometimes the stars just don't align. If you've ever felt this way, comment "seen" below. Let's create a space of understanding, right here, right now. And if you're seeking more moments of calm and clarity in your week, consider subscribing. In this video, we're going to explore this feeling, not as a problem to be solved, but as an experience to be understood. We'll talk about why this hurts so much, touching on the neuroscience of social connection and the deep-seated need for emotional validation. And most importantly, we'll explore how we can find peace and build resilience when the world feels out of sync with our soul. We'll learn how to become our own source of understanding, how to self-validate, and how to find our footing even when we feel like we're standing on shaky ground. At our core, humans are wired for connection. It's a fundamental need etched into our DNA from millennia of relying on the tribe for survival. In our previous video, we explored how modern life can pull us apart, but the ache of disconnection goes deeper than just being alone. The deepest form of connection, the one our nervous system craves, is the feeling of being truly understood. It's more than just agreement, it's a profound sense of emotional validation, a quiet confirmation that our inner world, our reality, is real and has value. It's someone looking at the unique landscape of our experience and saying, "I see you. You make sense." So when someone misunderstands us, it's not just a simple miscommunication. It triggers a primal survival instinct. On a neurological level, your brain can't easily distinguish between social rejection and physical danger. The same regions that process physical pain, like the anterior cingulate cortex, light up. That sting you feel? It's real. Your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, flags the situation as a threat. It feels like we're being subtly exiled from the group, a terrifying prospect for our social brains. This isn't an overreaction. It's your survival wiring doing its job. It's a biological response, not a personal failure. In that moment of disconnect, a storm of self-doubt can gather. We start to wonder, is something wrong with me? Am I expressing myself poorly, or am I just invisible? These internal questions often reflect our learned attachment patterns. Some of us might frantically try to over-explain, seeking reassurance to calm an anxious response. Others might shut down completely, retreating into an avoidant silence to protect themselves from further hurt. We replay the conversation, dissecting our words, searching for the exact moment the connection was lost. This is the quiet, lonely pain of being misunderstood. Ultimately, the pain comes from the gap between our intent and their impact. You intended to share a vulnerability, a fragile piece of your heart, hoping for empathy and closeness. They, perhaps with no ill will, impacted you with a quick fix, a dismissive platitude, or an abrupt change of subject. You offered a key to your inner world. They didn't seem to notice the door. This gap is where loneliness festers, not from being physically alone, but from feeling emotionally isolated in the presence of others. When we feel misunderstood, our first instinct is often to talk more. We use more words, more examples, more metaphors, hoping that this time they'll get it. But as we discussed in Why Paying Attention Feels Harder Than Ever, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. If someone isn't ready to understand, no amount of explaining will bridge that gap. In fact, over-explaining often leaves us feeling more depleted and more misunderstood than when we started. It's like trying to pour water into a bottle that still has the cap on. So, what do we do with this quiet pain? This ache of feeling unseen, of having our deepest truths met with silence or misunderstanding? It's a profound form of loneliness that can leave us questioning our own reality. But the path forward doesn't lie in convincing others to see us. It begins with learning to see ourselves. First, we have to stop making being understood a prerequisite for our own peace. Your feelings are valid even if nobody else acknowledges them. This is the cornerstone of emotional validation. It's about building an internal sanctuary, a place where your experience is honored without needing an external witness. To help you build this, let's create a self-validation toolkit. The first tool is to simply name the feeling, without judgment, without a story. Find a quiet moment and say it out loud or to yourself. I am feeling hurt right now. I am feeling dismissed. I am feeling lonely. Then add the most crucial part, and that is okay. This simple act of naming creates a space between you and the emotion, allowing you to witness it instead of being consumed by it. The second tool is a body scan. Our emotions live in our bodies. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the physical sensations. Is there a tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? A heaviness in your shoulders? Just notice it. Breathe into that space. You're not trying to fix it. You're simply acknowledging the physical truth of your emotional state. This is a powerful act of mindfulness that grounds you in your own experience. Think of it like a beautiful sunset in the middle of a desert. Just because no one is there to see it doesn't mean it isn't breathtaking. Your inner world, your feelings, your truth, they are just as real, just as magnificent, whether they are witnessed by another soul or not. Your validation is the only light it truly needs to exist. The final tool is a solo ritual. This could be journaling, as we've mentioned, or making a cup of tea with intention, going for a silent walk, or listening to a piece of music that mirrors your feelings. It's a deliberate act of self-care that says, I see you, I am here with you. These practices create a bridge within yourself, a foundation of self-trust. When you truly understand and accept yourself, the world's misunderstanding loses its power to break you. You become your own safe harbor. Being understood is a gift, but it's not a guarantee. There will always be parts of your soul that belong only to you, and perhaps that's what makes your inner world so sacred. If you're feeling that quiet pain today, know that you aren't alone in that feeling. You are seen, even in the silence. If this resonated with you, you might find comfort in our video on why slow living matters in a fast, distracted world. It's about returning to yourself when the world feels like too much. Take a deep breath. You are enough, exactly as you are.